Hello, everybody. We are back and we have ourselves map number. Can you guess? Can you guess what map we're on? We're on map number
Me, me,
two,
me.
everybody. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I didn't get to guess. It's
I'm
okay. I was
sorry.
gonna say 3, so I would have been wrong.
Okay, I'm a bad teacher. I'd make for a poor teacher. But yeah,
Does
we're on
anyone know the
Mirage.
answer? I'll say it instead. You're heading into Mirage, the pick of Chococheck. After a very close first map, this really could be a 3-map series. Chococheck looking really solid on the opponent's pick of Nuke, meaning that if they're on a map that they chose themselves, they may be all the more powerful. Also, this A stack coming through from the side of Team 1 may really throw a wrench into the plans of Chococheck as they have 3 players on the A side while the execute comes through. We do see quick kills from everyone. 1 kill will go the way of CJ, but that's all he's going to find as he's blind. He actually may find more. Can he find something else? It looked like Maluki definitely wanted to go for the knife there for a second, but no, instead, CASA will use the good old pistol. Go ahead and find the first round for Team 1. That is the first pistol that they've won so far.
Well, props to them. They do finally pull that pistol out. Map 2 only took them a full map to kind of warm up into things. They didn't look that great at the beginning of the last map, so we'll see how they go this time around. Chococheck, of course, starting on the T side. Team 1 will opt to pick up a couple of FAMASs, a couple of FAMI. I don't know, what would you consider the proper plural for a FAMAS?
Maybe it's one of those group things where instead of you saying it plural, you say it's like a gaggle of FAMAS.
I like that. I feel like that is the proper way to do it.
A murder of Crow.
A murder of FAMAS?
Yeah, a murder of... I do think murder would maybe be accurate for a gun.
Out on the B site, though. 2 players here to deal with this, and it's so far looking pretty handy for these players, but PRT getting caught. That'll actually drop 2 players in a row. Maluki a little bit later on the spray, but he does get 2 for his troubles, but he does get equalized. Jazz Pimp able to make that happen, and suddenly the second round break is happening, and it does. Stamina able to get the kill, and look at that, body sprays already coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are only in it's been 2 rounds and we're already shooting people's bodies. Like, you know, like, what are you gonna say to that, you know?
Yeah, the energy's high early on. Make sure you're on all cylinders. I know that in our open games your plan would be at times to make yourself angry so that you would just have the angry aim. So
it works
maybe
so
it's
well
maybe
sometimes.
not angry, but yeah, exactly. Maybe it's the same thing. Get those emotions high. Make sure you have all that adrenaline coursing through your veins so you can hit your shots. And
now,
so far it starts out well because they do find the first and the second.
Yeah, now Mob's out on an island. He has to really hit something crazy to put this one away. He is going to be able to theoretically escape to some sort of safety, but he's pretty pinched in here, and they're going to be checking for him. Free firing every angle. Oh, but he comes out of it with 1, and now suddenly PRT with an opportunity to equalize, and he does. But now, if you consider that equalization, it's 1 versus 3, and Maluki is on the scout. They did force up into the second round to try and do some damage to this T-side economy, but it's not enough. Now, 1v1 on this A-bomb site. Stamina is going to be there for the check, and that will be a Chococheck. 2 rounds for the requisite squad.
Yeah, Team 1 just not able to convert off of the pistol, and now their economy's looking pretty rough. I don't even think they're going to buy into this one on any level. Maybe a flash on 2 or 3 of these players, but other than that, this should be a completely clean round for the side of Chococheck. The pistols are always scary from a Brazilian side, so should be on the lookout for that, but it's not Deagle, so not too much to worry about. And yeah, Chococheck, they are just very casually walking their way into the A site using minimal utility just to make sure that they're nice and safe. But PRT will find 1. Maluki can't connect the second, almost finds it, but instead it's just damage, and now it's Mobs alone in the 1v3. He finds a dink onto Stamina, but no kill. Chococheck are able to pull out that third. It gets a little bit scary for a second there, but no, they are able to cleanly find that with 3 players alive. And Team 1, they're pretty happy with that damage. It means they're able to buy up the guns and the utility. It means that their economy is at least fixed for 1 round, but you need more than 1 round to win a game. So let's see if Team 1 can start anything with a win in this one, or if Chococheck will maintain the momentum. Maluki will find 1 and 2 in mid, dropping 2 of those Chococheck players. So definitely a good start for the side of Team 1.
Now, Malb's got to be careful on the correction here, but he's going to be the one who gets the shot, and look at that. All across the map, Team 1, they find the kills that they need to. They just that play from Maluki was so strong. He just hopped up. It was just such an off angle. And while they were trying to figure out exactly how they were going to deal with it, they were standing right out in the open, and it was just a matter of getting completely sprayed down. Mobs will find the last one. So 2 for him, 3 for Maluki, or 2 for Maluki, and a final one from XNS. I didn't actually catch where that one happened, but kills falling across the board, and Team 1 do find themselves the second round.
Yeah, the XNS kill happened on A. One of the players pushed out of A ramp, and he caught them while they were on top of Tetris. So even the lurk gets ripped apart for Chococheck. That's what I love about Team 1's defense, is that they get really aggressive in certain parts of the map, but it's almost a strategical aggression because it makes you think, oh, there's going to be weaknesses here, and then they leave a player there just to check it. That is a loss in the mid fight, but Mobs is going to go ahead and trade one back very quickly. Jazzpimp looking to maybe punish the push, but no, CJ is just going to go ahead and win the aim duel instead. 60 is going to push through this molly and will find a free kill for it. PRT thinks the molly means he is safe, but he thought extremely wrong. Pesa, though, waiting for a player to push up through connector, but that will be it. He just very casually one-taps Jazzpimp and then gets sprayed down in the back. And Chococheck, they put an end to Team 1 and their their round winning very quickly. Team 1 are only able to find one before they're quickly answered back by Chococheck yet again.
Yeah, and that was just like comprehensive. Team 1 tried to do the same thing like twice in a row. But here we are. We're going to see them on the Deagles now. So this is going to be kind of exciting. We get to see, you know, the classic Team 1 Deagles. Maluki is actually pushed all the way through underpass already. He could already cause a pinch onto 60. 60 is not watching for this. So there's an opportunity here. The question is Maluki. Oh, he's just going to keep walking. And 60 doesn't even check for it.
Yeah, this timing could honestly hurt both of these teams, considering how it happens. If for some reason Team 1 are maybe like, oh, B's covered because we had him walk through, then that's one thing. Also, Maluki choosing not to go towards mid where he knows these players are, and instead he's going to try to crunch on the player currently holding A main, that being Stamina. He may be able to find a free kill. Stamina's going to be looking the wrong way, but who notices who first? They're just not looking at each other, and the fights are happening in mid. Maluki will find that kill, and now he's going to go try to retrieve that AK. But CJ, he's going to go ahead and trade one back, make this a 4v4 yet again. With the pistols in the hands of Team 1, this is still a round in favor of Chococheck, regardless of that flank.
Yeah, I gotta say, even with 60 on the B site, this could be sketchy. He is here to prevent, you know, any CTs from rotating over. PRT doesn't make it to bench, but not quite enough. The timing's just a little bit off, and now it's gonna be Mobs and XNS in a 2 versus 4 clutch with these Deagles. They have taken away one gun. XNS does pick that one up. Excuse me. Now Mobs doing what he does best with that Deagle, opening up for the first one. It's an opportunity to make something happen, but it will get shut down. And now XNS just going to try and save over this AK-47 into the next round just to bolster the CT-sided economy just a little bit. Give them a little bit of that buffer if they can. So that will be a 5th for Chococheck.
Yeah, a strong 5th, too. We're starting to see why Chococheck have chosen this as their map pick, just because it is a team of absolute aimers. All of these players can be stars. If they were on just slightly lower in quality teams, they would all probably be that team star player, but when you have all 5 of them together, it's a very different story. So on a map like Mirage, where it's so heavy on those defaults, so heavy on those aim duels, Chococheck really starting to come into their own. Team 1, they've only really had one, or I guess this would be the 3rd rifle round at this point for them, so we haven't maybe seen the full force of Team 1 on Mirage just yet, but Chococheck, they seem pretty comfortable so far in fighting back against anything Team 1 may have. But right now, Chococheck just going to slow it down and gear up for a possible A take.
Yeah, Team 1, they are just biased themselves out into their own CT-sided default. XNS going to get caught underneath, but Chococheck will fall off this angle. I think we'll see a battle between Pesa and 60 pretty soon here in the smoke. Who sees it first? 60 sees it first. Gets that initial entry, and now, you know, this is going to pull rotations from all over the map. Team 1 has to be careful here, because this could end in a lot of casualties. And now Mobs is deciding to peek back out. He does get a dink, but he doesn't get a kill. And now PRT has to hold on to the site all by himself. But the question is, can he hold against 3 coming terrorists?
He's going to have to hit a
Oh,
lot here, but
Maluki.
actually Maluki is in the right place at the right time to support. PRT finds one player jumping out. He finds the next, and now it's all onto 60. Alone in connector, 11 health to his name, and an AK on his back. There's almost nothing he could do. We have seen 60 do some amazing things so far in this best of 3, but with the bomb down, completely in control, completely in the control of the CTs, this may be much too tall of an order.
Yeah, especially with 11
If he decides to
HP.
take, yeah, if he takes this at all, he should just be taking an op shot to the chest, which probably doesn't feel good. And there it is. Yeah, PRT just going to quickly put an end to that. 3 on the round for PRT, I believe. A really, really solid hold of the B site coming through from him. Heroics with that op. Just finding a really early pick with a little bit of an off angle and then just being very solid on the hold with a little bit of assistance coming through from Maluki.
Yeah, honestly, not too much to say about that, except I didn't even notice that PRT was there at first, and then PRT just in the perfect position to capitalize and make something happen. Now, they're going to take this one out mid very fast. Now, this is going to be mainly connector hold from Team 1, and it will be perfect. There's only one player holding on the B side as well to keep in mind here, but playing against these Deagles and, you know, well, actually, sorry, the single Deagle that was in hand, but now they all have AKs. There's an opportunity for something crazy to happen, and now Pace is going to be kissing Jazz Pimp in the smoke, and Jazz Pimp's the one who's ready for it, and suddenly there's chaos all over the ranks of Team 1. They are split. Nobody is safe, and look at this, Jazz Pimp in the back lines, putting PRT to rest, and now these 2 remaining players for Team 1 are just trying to hold onto these guns going to the next round, because this round is over.
Yeah, if Maluki was able to win that duel against 60, this could have been a very different round considering the bomb has yet to even be retrieved. But now that it's a 3v1, now that so much map control is in the hands of Chococheck, this is a very difficult win here. If XNS can win against 60 here, that's a different story possibly, but he's also
I don't know if their
heading
economy
towards
can
the
allow
A
for this.
site. Yeah, it's a question of whether or not he chooses to go for it, and I think he might not. He may go to retrieve the op off of 60. I think that might be what the game plan is right here. See if he can hold on to the sniper. But as I'm saying that, he's immediately going to tell me to shut up, and he's going to start for the B retake. Both players playing towards Cat. I don't know if he'll be ready for this. One of them is very far away, so he is going to be able to... I think he might have... no, I don't think he did, yeah. If he can isolate the 1v1s, this is going to be good, but I don't know if he has enough time for this. He finds the first damage given to him by Stamina, though, and he has to hold this. This should just be an easy spray down, and there it is. CJ connects one through the smoke, finds an unnecessary headshot as the player was already low, but definitely style points there at least. As Chococheck, they are finding their 6th round.
I'm seeing similar tones to last map. However, the sides are switched. So, you know, the thing is, though, is that the T side on this map is kind of like, you know, it's a measure of success. It's so hard to tell. Some teams, they just thrive on the T side. Some thrive on the CT side. This map has never been like, it never necessarily feels one way or the other, at least in the games that I've played, which, you know, that's not saying much, but in the games that I've seen it go back and forth so many times, and Mob's missing a rare deagle, and that's not a shot you normally see him miss. And now XNS is going to be hard peeked off the angle, and he will be shut down. Chococheck finding their 7th. Espimp even doing a little bit of extra damage to add to the old stat book.
Yeah, I would agree that this map is less an actual bias towards one team or one side, and more that it comes down to which side the team is more comfortable on. Because as someone who has dropped 31 kills in an open game on this map, I feel like I understand it pretty well. And I'm personally like I'm a CT sided player, but there's also T sided players like one of our teammates, Squag. He's very T aggressive, so I think it really just comes down to the play style you want to play. It's not really the map itself, and it looks like Chococheck, they are definitely comfortable with that aggressive T side style of play. We have yet to see their CT side because it's not the second half yet, but so far they're looking very good on the attacking side. 60 actually caught out by XNS. He gets distracted by the back of the player jumping up on the box, but luckily for the side of, Chococheck, they're not going to take that side instead. But no, unluckily, there are the duo of Malbs and PRT on B, and XNS just going to clean up Stamina going up Cat. As I'm failing to cast this round well, it is quickly put to an end by T1, and they find their 4th, finally answering back against Chococheck.
I think the big thing to point out in that round, honestly, was that it just looked like a really bad default. Looks like they just kind of like, they tried to run a default out, they're like, get a pick A, pull them around, have the mid player catch somebody on the rotation, and then they pop out B, but the timing was completely off, and they just got completely just railed. So they're going for a fast underpass here. Maluki not going to be... He's going to be holding for this mid pick, and he will get it, and he will escape off the back of that, so he won't get caught by Jazzpimp unless he decides to regress into window here, and they will be boosting him up to try and catch this, so things could get a little bit scary. Maluki's just going to walk into this somehow, just barely getting away. That was a little terrifying. Now Mobs also playing a very dangerous game, taking lots of nade damage.
That is, they still win, at least with a kill there, but the utility battle and control of mid definitely going the way of Chococheck, and I think everyone knows how important mid can be on this map. Also, Window currently in control of Jazzpimp, but PRT finding the lurking player up cat quickly puts an end to his creeping around, and Maluki should be good for one here onto Jazzpimp, and that he is, finds quick and easy kill with that op, and now it's 2 players left, that being Stamina and Tropical. Stamina will find the first with a quick peek out of Palace, just caught the player looking the wrong way, but XNS is able to reposition from that molly, is able to get out of dodge. Will he be ready for the peek from Stamina, though? Who will win this? XNS, yeah, does come out on top, and now it's Tropical all alone, trying to find the head of this player on A, trying to isolate these 1v1s, but he's getting pinched from all angles. Finds one, finds two, but finally gets put down. An amazing attempt from him, at least finding those 2 there. Most people wouldn't even find the first.
Those were clean shots. Now, it looks weird on my side because I've got the GoTV weapon bug, so he doesn't have a gun. But
I have that on Peso right now.
But like that was impressive from Tropical. Like you don't see that, you don't see those kinds of taps every day. So got to give him a little credit for hitting those. But Maluki holding for this mid pick does actually miss the first shot. Peeks back into the angle, takes a dink for it, but does get the frag. Has to be careful, though, because there are players aggressing underpass, and they will be looking for his head. He does jump spot and get away from there, and the Molotov will cut them both off. So now Pesa, the one in a little bit of a sticky situation, as he's going to get put from the side, and he's playing in 4x3, isn't he?
Didn't quite get the angles, but Maluki has a good angle onto that player mid with his op. Finds one before he's traded by CJ, and Mobs, he's going to fall to the deagle of Stamina. This falls into a 2v2, but quickly XNS answers back with a kill, and PRT should be good for this one. As I say that, Stamina, he finds yet another deagle kill in this round. 2 kills for him with the pocket op, and he is looking for one more. XNS holding this angle. It's just a question of who taps the other one's head first, though. Stamina, he doesn't look too keen on taking this fight. He's just waiting for over-aggression, waiting for some sort of opening, and yeah, the perfect timing for Stamina. He waits until exactly when XNS decides to move off the angle, and he should get a plant for free from this. XNS should hear this. XNS should hear this. Again?
Okay. Is he wearing his headphones backwards? Like,
is he wearing his headphones?
That almost happened again, and oh boy, now you've given him up. You've given your position. You are landing that bit of spray on the 1v1 situation. You're out of ammo now. Suddenly you're down to a worse gun. Can you hit it? You can, because no head armor to work with in that situation. So XNS will get out of that one, luckily with the round, but things were looking a little bit scary for a second there. But Team 1 do find a 6th, and would you look at that? Can you believe it's round 14? Does it feel like round 14 to you? Doesn't feel like round 14 to me.
It feels like just yesterday that we were watching Team 1 retake the wrong bomb site on Nuke. Time flies when you're having fun.
Classic. That's what you hate to see, I guess. But honestly, Team 1's been doing a good job on their CT side, just holding their own here. But the question will come in a little bit later in a couple of rounds' time. Oh, XNS, okay, losing his life. It isn't even trade, but Maluki's got to be careful because there is a little bit of extra aggression coming from Team Main. Swinging out the opportunity. This is the next shot, but look at that. T's falling everywhere else, so the pressure getting a little bit relieved. Maluki still fighting 1 versus 1 in the smoke, and he will be the one to get the kill, leaving 60 in a 1 versus 2. Not a lot of HP to work with either.
He seems to be left in these 1vx's pretty often for his team. He on Nuke, especially on the CT side, he was really the player that they kind of based their whole movement around. But now it seems like more he's kind of playing back, allowing his teammates to take those sort of entries, and he's more the player that goes in for the trade, the player that tries to find timings, find openings, and he actually is finding a bit of a timing here. Might be able to get free bomb plant onto the B site, and it's going to be a little bit before Maluki can rotate over to help, so he should have at least some time to play an after plant. So PRT may just go for the retake right away the second he hears this bomb going down. And with 30 seconds left, if he's able to delay it even a little bit, that could really put a wrench in it. But no, 60 is just going to go ahead and plant as safe as possible. And now he's got a 1v2 on his hands.
In the post plant, PRT was looking a little bit scary for a second there, but he does land the shot, and that will be another round. We are tied up now, everybody.
7 across the board. I believe it was 8-7 previous map in favor of Chococheck, right? At the half?
Yep. Chococheck had the advantage at the half, and now Team 1 tying it up with the opportunity to put themselves into advantage, flip things on their head, and kind of show us exactly what we were looking at last map, just with the team swapped around. It's a little bit of a switcheroo with the roles.
Yeah, Chococheck, though, their economy is good enough to at least somewhat buy into this round. Tropical, if he goes for an AK, he won't have utility. If he goes for a bite all, there it is. The AK comes through 0 utility. So Team 1, at least monetarily, are ahead in this round, but only very barely. The rest of these Chococheck players have almost all the utility you could hope for. So
that Molly tick's going to give so much information.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say this is still anyone's half, but Team 1 looking really solid on this hold so far. The mollies come through, though, and XNS is forced to take the fight. Luckily, he is able to win it, but he gets mowed down, caught out with the smoke in his hand. Now Pesa looking to take the peak, and he wins it out as well. Drops down, and now it's just a full-on brawl on the A site. Maluki will find one with his op, but 60 finds 1 and 2, brings us to the 2v2, and Mobs and PRT are just going to go ahead and hold their tongue. Slow it down a little bit, try not to force these fights, especially with the op, but Mobs will find the kill on to Jazzpimp, holding under, and that's going to go ahead and tell 60 that he needs to leave, get the hell out of dodge.
He's going
head toward mid, but yeah, right place, right time, puts a bullet right into the head of 60, and it's 8-7 in favor of Team 1 this time at the half of the second map.
Team 1 kind of looking like they might have the gas to put this one away in 2 maps. Now, to kind of remind everybody what's going on, this is a double elim bracket. So the loser of this match is not out of playoffs. They will just be in the lower bracket, which we will be able to kind of figure out exactly. Let's see if we can, let's see if any maps have finished up in any, like hyperactive fashion. Where's everybody else at? Let's double check and see what the scores are around the region for playoffs. Currently, Pain is up 1 map and is 10-5 on the second map over GGPR. Extra Salt is up a map over RBG, but it is currently 1-4, RBG in their favor. Party Astronauts is down a map to Triumph. Okay, that's surprising. And it is currently 9-5 Party Astronauts on the second map. So Triumph pulling out something a little bit interesting over there. Maybe we'll see them. Good. Maybe we'll see a resurgence from Twice himself.
The man, the myth, the legend, but right now we're going to go ahead and see a surgence, no re on this B site, as Mobs is going to quickly put Tropical into the ground and get a completely free bomb plant for the side of Team 1. There is one player on a flank, that being 60, but Pesa, he's holding this. He will get the information, if not the kill, and yeah, the kill does come through the Glock. Just putting a quick bullet into the head of 60, and now 5v3 on the retake. Maluki looking the right way, finds information for one player. Doesn't know that the other 2 are there just yet, but spots out the second, and looks like almost all of the players are watching towards Cat now. This is an almost impossible retake, and Chococheck, yeah, they are just going to reposition, possibly go for a save, hold on to that armor, hold on to what little they have in this round, and give up another pistol round for Team 1. XNS making sure Stamina can't hold on to that kit, though, and find the second. This is just an absolute sweep coming through from the side of Team 1 in this pistol round. They win both pistols on Mirage, and they are looking to end this at a 2-0 with a good start to the second half.
Well, that's 2 pistols in a row for Team 1. That's better. You know, they've now evened it up. The score is 2-2 on the pistol rounds between these two teams. So Chococheck will be forcing into this one, and they do have the money to purchase a MP9 for stamina. They do have armor, so Team 1 does have to be careful here, as they did. Actually, this is just a classic El Clasico force buy going into this one. Nothing really that special about it, but look at this heavy mid presence from both sides here. 3 apiece, looking to fight this one off.
Good damage so far. 60 looking to find a tag, and he does with the scout, but takes some damage for it as well. If they win this round, it's every caster says this, it's one of the most common talking points, but it's almost better to lose the first, win the second when you're on the T side, just because of how much damage it does to that CT side. But XNS going to do more than just damage over to Tropical, and Mobs, he's going to go ahead and put CJ in the dirt as well. So what started off as a little bit dangerous for the side of Team 1 is getting a lot more safe. 60 will find one, but 1 kill doesn't win wars. And Pesa, he's going to go ahead, and find Jazzpimp. So now it's Stamina all alone, and I doubt he even goes for this. Maybe tries to find an exit or two, but most likely just going to hold on to the gun and the armor.
Honestly, I gotta give credit. Pesa has been excellent at these, like, just jiggling angles in just ways that make it impossible to shoot him in the head. I've seen it throughout this series. Just Pesa's just been back and forth, and like just bobbing his head up and down in ways that just makes it impossible for people to hit headshots on him. And, you know, in that case, it won him that gunfight. Just that nice little bit of jiggle peeking. Good stuff from him.
Yeah, the thing about Team 1 is, even though they've been kind of off form from what we've seen in the past, excuse me, they are still at the core really extremely solid players. You just almost wonder maybe if like their lack of performance in the season, or lack of dominant performance in the season, maybe comes from the fact that most teams are probably looking at their demos due to the fact that they won a season of Premier. You know, the same way that people are probably looking at a lot of Bad News Bears demos right now, stuff like that. So I completely got off track there. What I was saying was basically, regardless of how they've been a little lackluster compared to past performances, they are still at the core extremely talented players, extremely mechanically talented players. So you're always going to get a fight out of them.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, Team 1 has always been just an absolute show to watch. Now, here's the thing that's kind of terrifying me right now. Team 1 is setting themselves up for a B take, which is going directly into a full stack. Only 1 player sitting off of this bomb site. They gotta be careful on the damage going not in the way of Team 1. Surely they realize this and they pull off, and yes, there it is. They'll pull off, they'll get that extra kill, and now Pesa can just completely cut off these rotations for Chococheck, and they turn what was a dangerous situation into something that's a little bit more salvageable, and they should be able to get some of these extra kills. Yep, and there goes Danny down into the grave. Look at that, even 2 first troubles.
Clean round. Yeah. Almost an absolute just giant horrible failure. I'm forgetting what the word I'm looking for there, but just narrowly avoiding
certain death.
Just a horrible situation. Yeah, certain death. That's a good way to put it.
Because like it just feels like, you know, that was really smart from Team 1, because what they did is they recognize all of a sudden, hold on a minute, there are a lot of people here, we should not be here, let us run, let's get out of here. And you know that's what they did, and they were able to secure the round off the back of it. It was patience. It's something that you don't see a lot of these days, and actually, as I say that, just swinging out dry into mid just gets taken out. Not even, you know, it doesn't even consider the possibility of Cat being a threat. But look at this, Team 1 now out onto the A bomb site. The execute is good enough for them to make this one out, but oh, caught off the boost over the edge of the smoke. XNS going down is going to make things difficult, especially with Stamina still holding on to CT. Now into a 2 versus 4. They have an opportunity, but it's going to be really hard to plant this bomb. Jumping up, only good for 1. Now PRT. Let's make this possible. Oh, but swinging out. And that will be the round. Chococheck do find their 8th. This is their first CT-sided round of the half.
Yeah, it's important to finally start answering back, just because Team 1, they were looking like they really wanted to run off with this, and it's good to see that Chococheck are still keeping this competitive. They looked really solid there, but that round honestly just comes from a lot of misplay, just a little bit too aggressive on the take even, and then also, of course, as you were saying, a completely dry swing into mid, peeking an op, but Jazzpimp, he's not going to be dry at all while he's peeking XNS in that position. I'm not, but he flashed is what I mean by that. It sounds a little bit weird, but what I meant was he was using utility, and 60, he's going to find a kill onto Mobs as well, trying to creep up Cat, and already Chococheck looking to find yet another round on their CT side, but PRT, he's going to find 1 and 2 and clearing out the B site as Pesa finds 1 in connector as well. The round has quickly and definitively swung in favor of Team 1. What was looking like a Chococheck round said and done now is falling in favor of the Team 1 side, and Stamina almost pulls a Jazzpimp spray from the first map, but is able to actually close it out right at the end. Takes some damage for it, but as long as he gets a kill, that's what matters. And now Lukey, he's going to put an end to Stamina, meaning it's now Jazzpimp all alone in the 1v2. The Molly will keep him at bay, and can't even find the first. He won't be able to find the second. This round should already be over, and yeah, Jazzpimp, he's already looking for an exit, just trying to find as much damage as he can before he backs off with this AK. And Team 1 answer back with a 12 after Chococheck find their first. A little bit dangerous down in the 3 versus 5, but they are able to pull it out, though Jazzpimp's able to pull out an op at the end. The bomb explodes 1 towards him, so that is icing on the cake, but the cake doesn't taste very good.
Yeah, if you want to, if there's anything I'd want to point out here, it is like the thing that the difference between Team 1 and Chococheck right now is Team 1 is making excellent mid-round adjustments. Chococheck,
Yes.
mid-round adjustments are kind of non-existent. They are playing off of the back of like a strong opening default. Ooh, Maluki just cleaning a house on Jazzpimp there through the smoke. But like it's just Team 1 just playing excellent when they need to adjust, and that is what is winning them rounds right now. Okay, that was a little dangerous, and now suddenly what was looking like a good opener off of the back of that off kill, suddenly things are going to fall apart, but they do get that 1 answered frag. Also, I will say for the person in chat who's saying show game chat and voice chat, we can't hear voice chat. Well, we can, but no, we're not turning that on. And you cannot see game chat in GoTV. So
Yeah, it just doesn't allow.
Yeah, and we're not going to show it anyway because no. So okay, 60 does find that kill. Yeah, no, we're gonna yeah, that's a no go from us, sir. But
you know what is a go though? The bomb plant on Maluki's back as he finds an A site completely empty and is able to get a plant. He's all alone at the moment though, so he has to be very careful of a possible peek coming through from the, I guess the connector side of the site. He is going to back off after his internal timer starts ringing that there might be players ready to peek this angle, and will back off with that op. Will he be ready for an op peek above, though? 60's going to come over, and he will find the headshot, and XNS, his location is known on connector. It is planted for him, but 60 is going to find those last 2 kills in Chococheck. They will find their 9th.
A little bit of a miscommunication there. He dropped the Molotov, and if it was just a little bit over, if he dropped it on the edge of triple, that might have been a, that Molotov might have changed things up a little bit. But unfortunately, that will be the round, and just a little bit too aggressive at the end there, and that does allow Chococheck to find themselves into a 9th. It is good that they did find that bomb plant, though, but once again, if you take a look at their economy, they do have 2 players on the Deagles, Pesa and Mobs, but once again, it is the pocket op for these guys, so I'll have to see how they decide to play this one out, especially as they kind of open up with this default we've seen a couple times. They've been leaning towards this B side at the beginning of these rounds quite a bit, and they've only really ended here when, when they need to make an adjustment, so.
And it looks like Chococheck's still actually leaning towards that side of the map regardless. I think they possibly know that Team 1 maybe favor that B side, especially at the beginning of rounds, just feel a little more comfortable taking early map control towards that side of the map. Tropical, though, is looking to get a little bit aggressive. A nade comes through, no flash, but if he peeks, he will be peeking into the op of Maluki, and no trade. A good peek coming through there nets him a free kill, just a tiny bit of damage, and now Chococheck up a player in this round in what is, quick math here, I believe the 22nd round.
Yep. Also, well, actually, wouldn't that be no, whatever. But
Yeah, I'm
one
right.
thing that
I
was
double checked it.
yeah, the one thing that was a little bit off there though that I noticed is that PRT went to recover that AWP and he just chucked the AK forwards into apps. So he almost just screwed them over because he had to I believe it was Pesa had to just or it was XNS actually who had to push completely onto into the like open sight lines in order to pick up that AK. But look at this, they have opened up Pesa with 2 and oh no, unable to trade with the AWP. Stamina going so low, getting tagged through every box possible, and now suddenly, oh, 2 kills out of CJ, claim a 10th for Chococheck.
That was very, very hectic towards the end there, but yeah, Chococheck are able to close it out. Heroic's almost coming through, but sadly it just was not enough. That spray down from Stamina there really what did it. It looked like the op was going to answer back, but just the fact that the spray is just already in motion, immediately finding that headshot is very good for the side of Chococheck. But Team 1 trying and failing at the mid-run jump, or excuse me, jump. Why am I forgetting what it's called? Run boost. There you go. Thank you. Pesa will trade one back. He's definitely aiming better than I'm speaking tonight, but he will fall to CJ in the end. A quick and easy round for Chococheck as they are only 1 round away from bringing us to an even 12.
All right, Chococheck, they're finally kind of rolling themselves back into it, but Team 1 is rolling themselves back into another purchase. So the question is, you know, where do they go with these guns? You know, where do they end with this? Because they've been kind of stalling out in these past couple of gun rounds. They haven't really been finding too many answers. They got themselves rolling, but they found themselves getting read by Chococheck rather easily. So, you know, you gotta... Oh, and this could be bad. Stamina getting flashed in here, and oh, it's just gonna be a spray down fest, and PRT lucky to get out of there with his life, as they do drop the bomb into the smoke. Now PRT trying to reaggress, and XNS, oh, look at that. The play of XNS allows PRT to get that kill around that looked like it totally shouldn't have happened. Now suddenly an opportunity for Team 1. Tropical, 1 versus 3. Mollied off, 90 HP. PRT looking like he's going to take this peak, and he will take it and win it. 13 rounds for Team 1. That looked like that should not have happened. That play
I was gonna say, I personally, for personal reasons, I turned back on the comms and correct, that round was not supposed to happen that way from the side of Chococheck. Words were exchanged, no harsh words, but definitely words about how that round could have been played better. But Team 1, I'm sure they're happy with that performance. It looked like Chococheck had a really solid read on the A take, just because I was even going to say analysis. I think A is the play here. I think Chococheck identified that A was one of their weaknesses and predicted that that would be read and then taken. But sadly enough, even if you predict it's one of your weaknesses, the problem is it's still a weakness, and that's shown true. Luckily for Team 1 as they found that round. Now PRT is already looking to find more. It's a labored spray onto Jazz Pimp, but it will connect in the end, and Maluki is going to find a player on site as well. So now it's down to Sixy and CJ on a possible retake, though. It looks like CJ is not even interested as he's kind of heading towards spawn. If he goes for the retake, he's going to be there very late, and yeah, Sixy taking some damage and deciding it's not worth it.
I think the second that 60 takes that dink, he's like, all right, we will come back again next time. Because you have to. Oh, and 60, looking at his radar for a second there, takes a moment before he takes that shot, and Mom's is going to run through again. They're just kind of handing over rifles at the moment, which isn't the greatest thing to do. You haven't won this game yet, Team 1. It is important to take these guns away, because Chococheck's economy is low, but I don't know if it's worth farming over that many AKs, especially if you're just giving 60 money for every kill that he gets.
Yeah, they hand over those AKs on a silver platter. The silver lining is that there's only 2 players alive, and one of them already had an AK, and the other one had an op. So none of these guns are actually retrieved for the side of Chococheck, and the economy's broken enough that it doesn't quite matter. But still, you don't want to put your own economy in such a difficult position, because we do see, you know, Mobs on a pretty low buy, PTR or PRT, excuse me, on a very low buy. PTR is a very different player. So it may be a little bit of a misplay, but Chococheck now going into what could be the penultimate round for Team 1 with a very shoddy force buy, you know, to a hero rifle, a hero op, and then all pistols. Team 1 are feeling pretty comfortable right now. They have a solid lead, and they have a solid lead on the economy.
Now this default is like, I can't call anything yet, but this feels like they know what they need to do. Like Team One, like the way that they're playing this just makes me feel like they know exactly what they need to do here. They're just holding on to mid. They're not playing anything too aggressively. They have given up Palace. I'm not sure if XNS has heard this or not. That could be a little bit dangerous if they do decide to go for an A take, but should they decide to end B here, they can completely cut off the rest of the CTs. And yeah, look at this. XNS is just dropping utility. And look at this. Oh, yep, he definitely heard Jazzpimp, because look at this. He's rotating back around. Oh, dear. Maybe he didn't expect him to be there so soon. Jazzpimp going to try and flash himself back in, but falling back off the angle. XNS just making tons of noise. Even going to bait Tropical in here. And I think that this... Oh, how are they going to... I'm not sure how Team One's going to end this now, because they've got players in the backlines, but now there's other players in the backlines, and now Maluki has to get out of there fast with 19 HP. He does have the bomb, but he peeks back out with the AWP and 19 HP and the bomb, and somehow that is considered, that's a Brazilian peek if I've ever seen one. Out onto the B bomb site in the middle of the site, and that goes for 2. Maluki now 1 versus 3, not going to happen. Team One drop that round. Chococheck. Oh dear, what happened with that default, Team One?
That was a rough round. I mean, losing the fight there is just, it happens. It shouldn't, in an ideal world, it shouldn't, but it does. You get degged at this level. It happens to everyone. But then we see Maluki just running out without a gun in his hand when a player could very easily be there at that point. I guess he didn't expect extreme aggression. He expected a player to maybe, he expected the enemy team would be expecting a player where he was, so he didn't feel like he needed to have his gun out and was punished for that. He does actually find the kill with a really, really strong re-peek, but at that point, the round just falls apart. I mean, you have a peek from an aggressive A player, so you know that if someone's aggressive through A, they probably know there's not much A aggression in the first place. They know that most likely this is going to be B, so B is probably the strongest site at that point. So it's just a little bit of either a miscommunication or a miscall coming through from the Team One camp, but they still have a 2-round lead. They force into this one, and then actually, yeah, I'm a little surprised they force into this one as well. I'm kind of just rambling now, but their economy is just in a very interesting place.
Yeah, and now here's the thing too, is that Team One, when I was talking about them, okay, opening up with the first 2, but when I was talking about them, dropping that round and handing over, well, they didn't drop the round, but they handed over 3 AKs, 260. Look where that put their economy. Okay, Malms doesn't care about your economy because he can just shoot you in the side of the body or in the head, and that will be 2 frags that will open up a bomb plant, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 2, and Maluki has an AWP.
Maluki is not aware of Jazzpimp's forward position on the site, though. The fact that he got out of the window is completely unknown. And the timing, though, is perfect for Maluki. He finds his 3rd in the round, and now he's looking for Tropical, but no, it's going to be Mobs to find it instead. And a round that Team One should have had absolutely no right winning goes their way. And once again, map point in favor of Team One, 15-12. Chococheck on a knife's edge as they force into what could be the last map of this series.
Series point off of a Mobs 4K with a deagle. Series point, everybody.
Just Mobs things.
Just Mobs things. Chococheck
just
on
regular Mobs.
Abhorrent buy.
It's deagles across the board, 1 SMG. I mean, if it was a team of Brazilians, I wouldn't be that worried just because we know what that region of CS can do with those guns. But NA, not exactly known for their pistol rounds, and well, they're going to have to change that narrative if they want to go ahead and find this round. Unless you're Swisher, exactly.
Yeah, this is looking like this could be it for them. This is 15 rounds. Their economy broken down to pieces. It's just going to be a matter of how does Team One play this. Tropical's already found a pretty good position on the B site, but look at that. They've opened up on the A site. They haven't really dropped that much utility here, so they have to be careful with how they pace this.
And that's a good shot from 60. But honestly, the fact that Team One have some SMGs here almost helps them against the pistols, though. Finding headshots definitely helps the pistols against this team. Can they find more, though? 60 will fall to the op, and that's going to give Team One a lot more room to work with, but CJ finding one back gives them more room. Now it's all onto Tropical. The stand-in is not going to be able to stand up against Maluki as he goes for the op peak and finds series point and win against Chococheck. Team One take it in 2.